Elon Musk.
What do you think of my hat?
At the center of a contentious Wisconsin Supreme Court race that's turned into the first statewide voter test of the anti-Musk messaging from Democrats.
Now Elon Musk is trying to buy Schimmel a seat on the Supreme Court.
Drawing protests and a spotlight on the trail.
He's trying to buy the election.
Musk flying in Sunday night to hand out million-dollar checks to signers of his petition.
This is one of those things that may not seem that it's going to affect the entire destiny of humanity, but I think it will.
What it will affect is control of Wisconsin's highest court. Republican-endorsed Judge Brad Schimmel is facing Judge Susan Crawford, who is backed by Democrats.
Save our state and save our nation on April 1st.
This is about the future of our state Supreme Court.
Home to President Donald Trump's most narrow 2024 victory, this is the most expensive state Supreme Court campaign in U.S. history. More than $80 million in spending by candidates and outside groups, according to an NBC News analysis of public records, including at least $12 million from Musk's super PAC.
You mentioned Elon Musk a lot.
Elon Musk.
Never dreamed I'd be fighting against the richest man in the world for justice in Wisconsin.
You said this is a campaign essentially against Elon Musk that you're fighting.
Well, it sure feels like it some days.
Beyond the flurry of X posts, Musk has been heavily involved. His group offered voters $100 to sign a petition to oppose, quote, activist judges. In 2023, liberals took control of the court for the first time in 15 years. The new majority signaled support for abortion rights and struck down Republican-drawn state legislative maps. National Republicans, fearing Wisconsin's congressional maps and the narrow U.S. House majority they helped create, will be next. In ads,
Trump has endorsed Brad Schimmel in the race for Wisconsin Supreme Court.
And at events, Schimmel embraces President Trump, but wasn't on stage with Musk last night.
I don't control what Elon Musk does.
Pushing back on the attack that the billionaire is buying his influence or hurting his chances.
Has it become a distraction for you?
Only with the media and only with the protesters who are obsessed with it. That's it.
But Democrats here, led by party chair Ben Wickler, are closing with a big focus on Musk.
If Susan Crawford can beat Elon Musk and Brad Schimmel, it should really open the question of whether Republicans can politically survive if Elon Musk is their front guy.
Testing a new line of attack here in Wisconsin, the tightest battleground state in the nation.
And Shaq is joining us now live from Wisconsin. Look at you. You are back on the campaign trail, my friend. It's been a minute, and I know you're thrilled to be there.
Great to be here.
Because this is, I think your framing on this is exactly right. The idea that this is a litmus test, that this could potentially be a big deal nationally, because for Democrats, in many ways, it is a test of this playbook that may have an impact in some crucial governor's races, for example, later this year, ahead of the midterms, et cetera. And for Republicans, it's like, hey, maybe this will prove that Elon Musk is good for conservatives on the campaign trail.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Hallie. And look, this is different than the protests that you've seen over throughout the country. This is different than people showing up to town hall events. These are voters going to the polls and having their say, which carries a lot of weight for folks in Washington, D.C., and people in these swing states and even swing districts around the country. For Democrats, it's clear that they think that there is some benefit for them in Elon Musk. They think that his messaging is one that mobilizes their base. In the state of Wisconsin, they say that he's trying to buy influence on a Supreme Court that may hear a challenge to one of his, or that his company is suing to challenge one of Wisconsin's laws. For Republicans, we didn't get this in the piece, but the state party chair here said that he believes that Musk has more of an advantage than disadvantage for them. It definitely helps take off some of the load in terms of the door knocking and mobilizing some of their base. So this will be an opportunity for them to test it in a statewide manner, and we'll see tomorrow night who ends up winning here.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.